And now we are officially holding space for a home library. I definitely have over 1,000 books. I definitely have the numbers. But
Hi, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. All that jazz. Welcome to my 4-day self-imposed hell. That is me scrambling to make 5 complete portraits in the span of 4 days. Now, I'm starting off with my nieces. All of these, except for one of the paintings, is going to be a Christmas present. Yeah. So that is why they were all due by Monday, because I'm leaving on Monday to go back to my hometown and spend the holidays with my extended family. So I am crunching all this in. I didn't have my nice paper where I was before, but now I'm home and I'm crunching it all in. I'm drawing my nieces as their favorite characters, Winnie the Pooh and Mario, respectively. So these two are like the smallest ones. They're 7 by 7 inches. And they were by far probably the quickest ones as well. I honestly I had a lot of fun with them too. I decided that, like, on a whim, I decided to use colored pencils as liners, and it was really messy, but in the end, I think I have a new method I actually enjoy. Sadly, for most of these, I didn't have a needed eraser. I also really need a pencil sharpener, TBH, but I didn't have a needed eraser, so I only had the eraser that smears shit everywhere. So it's like not very neat, but I'm not really about all that neat art anyway. I've never been super overly neat with my art. So I'm just watercoloring her in. All of these are done with watercolor, and then I just add pizzazz with whatever medium I feel fits, which is usually some acrylic marker. Yeah, it was honestly like super quick. I did this all in the night. Well, technically it was afternoon, but the sun sets so freaking early this time of year. It's actually honestly like I hate it. It's annoying and it makes everything cold. Cold as fuck. I really like this poo, this poo drawing with like the honey in her mouth. It's kind of like, I don't know, I like it. It was based off of her Halloween costume, actually. But yeah, I'm just painting that shit in. And I'm running out of things to say already. But I feel like this whole project was like, it gave me a full-time job, low-key. Like, I was not resting for a second. I was working like a dog, day and night. Well, mostly in the day. I didn't really do much at night, because after a full day of like painting and like chores and errands and shit, like you're gonna be exhausted in bed at night. Okay, you're not gonna have enough energy to like keep working and working and working and working. So I just realized so I have tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday to finish all of these paintings, get them framed, and get them wrapped. So now I'm gonna get to work, because I was taking my sweet ass time, but now I gotta hustle. So my house is currently like in the process of being sold. There was an open house or whatever, so I couldn't be at home. And the way I just skipped over my Starbucks because I forgot the tripod. So I retrieved my tripod and then I went to the park instead and I got to work. I may or may not have gotten low-key harassed because I didn't know the park was right by a freaking high school. And of course, teenage boys are just, they're gonna be assholes, you know? So that was not fun. That was a little triggering, but at least I didn't get hate crimed. Not today. So this second piece is for my brother and my sister-in-law. They both really love Star Wars, especially my brother. That's been like one of the biggest things with my brother, like my whole life. He's been obsessed with Star Wars. So I drew her as a Jedi and him as sort of this Darth Vader looking guy. Don't quote me, I think Vader is one of his favorites, if not his favorite. So I'm hoping this will suffice. But another thing about my brother, he's always wearing like a backwards cap and sunglasses. So I figured I would make his helmet like resemble that, but also sort of be in Vader's like helmet shape. And honestly, it's kind of like, it's very much my brother. So I'm not unhappy with it, to be honest. The space like above them also felt kind of empty. And I never draw like machines. I never draw like linear objects, shit like that. So that shit, I'm amazed I pulled that off without having to like study and sketch it multiple times before, like, because I didn't even thumbnail it on a scrap piece of paper. I'm on a deadline, bro. If it's gonna look like shit, it's gonna look like shit, and he's not gonna notice, because non-artists just look at anything and think it's an amazing piece of art. But I chose one of like the ships from like Vader's era, I guess. Vader's era of Star Wars, that trilogy time, I guess. Episodes 6 through, I don't know, fucking 9, because that's how trilogies work, right? Because I knew my brother would notice like the specific type of ship it was, so I couldn't bullshit it. I had a reference, and I stuck to the reference, and I kind of fucked up on a few parts. But I stayed true to the design, and overall, it actually doesn't look as bad as I was expecting it to look. I do wish that I could, like, use a transform tool and just move the ship a little bit so it wouldn't have this weird tangent with my brother's helmet, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20, you know? I actually didn't know what that saying meant until very recently, and I felt extremely dumb when I realized what it meant. Anyway, I think that's enough talking for now. I just went to a frame store. This place is cool as hell, like low-key. And they had like all kinds of colors. So I'm getting some custom frames. It's a little expensive, guys. It's a little expensive, but it's gonna be worth it because now my niece's frames are gonna be like cute as fuck. They're gonna be like color-coded and matching. So I can't wait. I should be able to pick them up tomorrow, so hopefully they'll be done, because I'm on a time crunch. The open house was over by this time. It was afternoon, and in the grand scheme of things, I really hadn't done that much. I hadn't even finished this piece, but I was kind of too tired to just sit at a desk because I've been sitting in uncomfortable public benches for, I don't know, hours. So I chilled on my bed and I leaned my tripod against my bed and just got cracking, and my cat was angry that I was doing something and not paying attention to him. So that's why you keep seeing him moving in and out, because he wanted so badly for it to be about him. But I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy. Like, this is not that you aren't a priority, because you're always the priority. Like, as he's sitting beside me, licking himself. It's bath time for him right now. Hopefully you can't hear his soggy ass mouth in the background. Anyway, just adding final touches. I think the lighting really pulled this thing together. And what I like about the acrylic markers is you can also take a paintbrush and spread it around. So it's basically like, well, it is acrylic paint. Like, you can just smooth it out and make it less opaque, less of a harsh line, and I really enjoy that, because for, like, rim lighting, yeah, that shit's cool. You want it to be harsh and, like, stark, but kind of a little bit smoothing into the rest of it at the same time, so it's really what I was going for. And I was adding some purple in the shadows because I kind of just felt like, damn, I don't really like how he's looking. And then I fixed up the ship a little bit with the acrylic markers too. I still don't really like the ship, but yeah. I was pretty much done at that point. I almost forgot to add the lighting on his fingers, but then I was on to the next portrait, which is for my mother, her husband, and my stepbrother. I kind of just combined them all because there's no way in hell I'm doing, like, separate ones for them. Like, sorry, I don't have the time for that. So I just drew them all on the couch. My mom on her phone looking at Instagram reels, and her husband sleeping, and the child playing video games as he does. Good morning. So I got the frames, and really only the two tiny ones are framed right now, even though I got most of the paintings done by now. But let me show you, because they're cute as fuck. For my nieces. Look, they're matching and shit too, look. Like, hell yeah. I really hope they love them. So, other than that, I have one unfinished painting and one more to do, which is actually pretty nice because it's only Saturday and I still have the entire day tomorrow. I have the sketch ready and I'm probably gonna go to the library today because I'm pretty sure they have outside seating. Not that I actually want to paint outside, it's just like I don't want to get in trouble for painting inside because some people think it's messy. Well, it kind of is messy, but like with watercolors, you can easily clean it up even if it does get messy. And TBH, I know how to control my watercolors. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the library. I have a book to return anyway, and I might just beg them to let me keep it longer because I haven't finished it. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna have my Jack in the Box, and we're gonna get this going. They actually did let me check out the book again because there weren't any other holds on it, thankfully. The book in question is Red Dragon, the first book in the Hannibal Lecter series. I love horror, and I want to read that series so bad. I just forgot the book when I went on my trip, and I was Hannibal-less, except for the show, because I did watch the show again when I was on my trip. Anyway, same portrait as before. I finally got my kneaded eraser. I found one, and it was full of like lint and hair and shit, so I just washed it in the sink before I left. But this is a really simple painting and probably my least favorite so far. Yeah. I don't know, but it was still fun. While I was sitting there at the library, I've never witnessed this in real life. I thought it only happened in movies, but like these two old men, they met up and played chess together and were just like chatting, and I was eavesdropping on them, and it was so pleasant. And I don't know, it's just one of those things that like gives you faith in humanity for no good reason, because like there's nothing even that special about playing chess with your friends, but I was just like, man, like, I don't know, this is kind of like wholesome in a way. Like they're just living their lives, and that's why I like third places, and that's why I should go to the library more, to be honest. I did actually take a break after I finished painting this, and I read some of that book, and I enjoyed it. I'm not too terribly far, because I was only like on chapter 6 when I had to return it. So now I'm several more chapters further. Yeah, it's a good book so far. I hope I can make an analysis video on it, maybe, because I like media analysis. So I guess I won't talk too much about the book. If I would like to make its own video, but I just feel like this painting has like a really different energy than all of the other ones, and I don't know. It's less bright, it's less layered. But here are all of them in their frames. This is literally taken in a random ass parking lot. It looks better in the sun, actually. But yeah, that final painting there is of my grandparents. It's a painting for my grandma. But yeah, I finished framing them, and then I wrapped them in that parking lot, but I didn't film the wrapping because it was very chaotic and stressful, and I didn't want people to see how bad I am at wrapping presents. So yeah, I brought everything home, and I really underestimated how long the wrapping and the framing and everything else would take. So I'm glad that I was a little bit ahead of my schedule, because I also wanted to do more than just the normal wrapping. I wanted to include cards and such. So yeah. I spend the next segment just doing the cards and the envelopes. I think I do the actual I do the actual writing of the cards off camera, but I have all these envelopes and shit. I have way too many of these envelopes and weird stationery shit I never use, that mostly because some of the stuff is kind of fugly, not gonna lie. I didn't buy it for myself, somebody just gifted it to me, and I never throw things away. So I've had this stuff for years, and I just slowly use it whenever it becomes relevant. Anyway, I'm just gluing envelopes on to the presents, and for my nieces, I'm gonna try to get like little goodies I can put in the envelopes since they can't read yet. And so for the adults, I'm just gonna put like cards. Other than that, it's just decoration. It's just more decoration, just a little more pizzazz. I make a fatal mistake, and I spill water all over one of them, but luckily it doesn't seem to have been ruined. Hopefully when the present is opened, there's no water damage on the art. So, oh God. Hello, welcome to the final countdown. I'm actually really tired and burnt out. So I tried to hype myself up by getting Christmassy. So, on the agenda, the final painting, and then also I have to go out again because I didn't get stuff to put in the envelopes. I just need candy, and I also hi Bika. I need candy, and I need unrelated stuff that's not for Christmas and is just boring adult shit. So let's get started. Today was like the beginning of the end. Like I was so freaking tired. I wasn't even sure I was gonna finish this in that day, and I didn't even end up going out because I was just so exhausted. But I did finish this painting, and this painting is actually a commission from my uncle. He paid me a pretty penny for this. It's his grandparents that recently passed away, or at least like his grandma recently passed away. His grandpa's been dead for a hot minute. But yeah, I started out with watercolor, and then I eventually move on to acrylics on top because I wasn't like that happy with just the watercolor, and I guess it looks fine in the end. I wish I did the colors like just a little bit differently. You can't see it now because it takes like a complete like 180, the acrylics and everything. Like I just wish I made the shadows a little more vibrant instead of like this weird darkish gray purple tone. Like I just wish it was more saturated in the shadows like it is everywhere else. But other than that, I mean, my goal was just to finish this, dude. And that I did. This painting took like 3 hours or something like that. And yeah, literally the morning after this, I had to go visit my family for Christmas, and yeah, I didn't have a second to breathe. I'm literally recording this on Christmas Day so that I can post this video after everyone opens their presents. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stupid little journey, and goodbye. Merry Christmas.